Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news now, folks. Let's dive into what might be one of the most intriguing and potentially transformative stories for the Cleveland Browns heading into the 2025 NFL season. And trust me, this isn't just any rumor or speculation. This is about a player who could reshape the entire landscape of the AFC North, and quite possibly, the NFL itself. We're talking about Micah Parsons, the Dallas Cowboys' superstar pass rusher. Yes, that Micah Parsons, who has been a dominant force on defense for the Cowboys, and who recently, in a very public way, asked for a trade on social media. That's right, Parsons has made it clear he's open to leaving Dallas, and that opens up a world of possibilities, especially for a team like the Cleveland Browns. Now, why should Browns fans be paying attention to this? Because if Cleveland could somehow pull off a trade for Parsons, it would be a seismic shift, not just for the division but for the entire league. Think about pairing Parsons with Myles Garrett, one of the most relentless pass rushers in the NFL today. That duo in the same front seven would be an absolute nightmare for any quarterback. It's the kind of combination that could make Cleveland's defense not just good, but potentially historic. I mean, Cleveland already has a solid defense, especially with players like Denzel Ward in the secondary, but adding Parsons into the mix, that could elevate the Browns into a different stratosphere. Let's consider the current state of the Browns. As we head into 2025, the outlook isn't as bright as fans would hope. The team has had its struggles, especially on offense, where consistency has been an issue. But the defense, that's where Cleveland has been building a foundation. They've got talent, no doubt, with Garrett leading the pass rush, but adding a player like Parsons could turn that unit into one of the best, if not the best, in the league. You combine Garrett's power with Parsons' speed and agility, and you're talking about a dual threat that offenses just can't handle. Now, I want to pause here for a second. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Okay, back to the big story. There's been some speculation from analysts and insiders that Cleveland could be a potential landing spot for Parsons. Matthew Schmidt, writing for SI, suggested that the Browns could make sense as a trade partner, especially considering the talent they have on defense and their needs on the edge rush. He proposed a trade package that could include the Jacksonville Jaguars' 2026 first-round pick, a second-round pick, and either Isaiah McGuire or Alex Wright, a pretty intriguing proposal for a player of Parsons' caliber. Think about that for a moment. Cleveland has assets, draft capital, and a desire to compete now. Parsons is only 26 years old and coming off another dominant season with Dallas, where he played through some injury issues but still managed to rack up 43 tackles, 12 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles in just 13 games. That kind of production, combined with his athleticism and versatility, makes him a perfect fit for the Browns' defense under coordinator Jim Schwartz. Imagine a front seven with Garrett and Parsons working in tandem, constantly harassing quarterbacks, disrupting offensive schemes, and setting the tone for the entire team. Of course, we have to consider the logistics. Dallas might prefer to trade Parsons outside of the NFC to avoid strengthening a division rival, which makes Cleveland a logical candidate. But the price would be steep. The Cowboys are known for their hard bargaining, especially when it comes to a player of Parsons' talent. Still, the potential reward is enormous. Cleveland's front office, led by Andrew Berry, has shown a willingness to be aggressive in the past, and this could be the type of bold move that defines a franchise's trajectory for years to come. Now, let's talk about what this means for Cleveland's overall strategy. Clearly, the Browns need to shore up their offense. They've got talented players, but consistency and explosive plays are sometimes missing. But as the old saying goes, defense wins championships. Building a ferocious pass rush with Garrett and Parsons could take the pressure off the secondary, allowing Denzel Ward and the defensive backs to focus on coverage and turnovers. That's a recipe for a playoff-caliber team, and maybe, just maybe, a team that could contend for a Super Bowl. But it's not just about the immediate impact. If Cleveland manages to trade for Parsons and then follow that up with a long-term extension, they're not just making a short-term splash, they're investing in the future of their defense. Parsons, at 26, has plenty of prime years ahead, and locking him in with a new contract would send a clear message that Cleveland is serious about contending now and in the years to come. The idea of having Garrett and Parsons rushing the passer together is beyond exciting for fans who crave a relentless, aggressive style of defense that can dominate the league. Of course, this is all speculation for now. It's important to recognize that no deal is done until it's officially announced, and the Browns will have to weigh the cost against their long-term goals. But the mere possibility of such a trade is enough to get fans dreaming of a revitalized defense and a much brighter outlook for the team. And let's not forget, the Browns have been known to make bold moves in the past. Whether it's trading up in the draft or making aggressive free agent signings, Cleveland has shown a willingness to push all in when the opportunity is right. Looking at the broader picture, the AFC North is a division that's constantly evolving. The Cincinnati Bengals, Baltimore Ravens, and even the Pittsburgh Steelers are all formidable opponents, but adding a player like Parsons would give Cleveland a significant edge. It could turn the Browns into the division's top defensive team, making them a serious threat in the AFC playoffs. And with a strong defense, Cleveland could focus on developing their offense, building around their quarterback, and creating a well-rounded team that can handle the postseason pressure. So, fans, what do you think? Is this just a pipe dream, or could we really see Parsons in a Browns uniform before the 2025 season kicks off? Would you be willing to part with some draft capital and players for a shot at one of the league's most disruptive defenders? It's a discussion that's been heating up, and I know Browns Nation has a lot of passionate opinions. Keep in mind, the NFL is a league where big trades happen all the time, and sometimes, the boldest moves lead to the biggest rewards. As we keep an eye on this story, it's worth mentioning that the Cowboys may prefer to keep Parsons if they can't get a deal that satisfies their valuation. But with his trade request out in the open, the landscape is shifting quickly. Cleveland has to be ready to act fast if they want to get involved. It's an exciting time for Browns fans because, as we all know, the team is on the cusp of something special. The defense, with the right pieces, could elevate the entire team and push Cleveland closer to postseason success. And remember, this is just one piece of the puzzle. Cleveland's front office still has work to do on offense, improving the offensive line, developing their young quarterback, and adding weapons to make the attack more dynamic. But if they pull off a trade for Parsons, it could be the spark that ignites the entire roster. Suddenly, the Browns become a much more well-rounded team, capable of competing at the highest level and making some noise in January. In conclusion, Browns fans, what's your take on this potential blockbuster? Do you think the Browns should go all in for Parsons? Or do you believe that the price might be too high? Whatever your opinion, one thing is for sure, this story is far from over, and we'll be watching every development closely. The NFL offseason is always full of surprises, and Cleveland might just be at the center of one of the biggest stories of 2025. So keep your eyes peeled, stay tuned, and as always, thank you for being part of this passionate Browns family. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news.